The ASU men's basketball team has claimed a first-round bye in the Southland Tournament after a dominant road win over Central Arkansas. I'm Max Preston.
And I'm Grant Boone. We'll look back at last week's 2 road wins and ahead to an emotional end to the regular season next on The Joe Golding Show. Welcome to the Joe Golding Show from the JMC Network studios at Abilene Christian University. I'm Grant Boone alongside ASU journalism major Max Preston and the head coach of the ASU men's basketball team, Joe Golding. The final week of the regular season is upon us, and Coach Golding's feisty Wildcats will not go away. 2 tough road wins last week to clinch at least a first-round tournament bye and take sole possession of second place with just these 2 games to go. Coach, you love the phrase, find a way, and your team keeps doing it.
Yeah, we do. Next man up mentality, kind of. You know, it was a great week, man. It was a lot of fun. I think it was the best thing for our team was to get out of here.
You said that last week.
Yeah, we said that. We talked about it last week, and we had a great team meal Tuesday night in Corpus. We went to a place called I think it's Water Street. Is it Water Street Grill? Or Waterfront Grill, really incredible restaurant, and we celebrated the fact that we made Katy. We didn't get a chance to do that Saturday. You know, Saturday obviously we had a tough loss, and we didn't know
2 Saturdays ago.
Yeah, 2 Saturdays ago, and so we were able to go out and celebrate Katy. That's a milestone for us. You know, we've never been, and so we wanted to celebrate it. And then we kind of gathered as a group and talked about now for the next 4 games, we're just playing for seeding. You know, we're in the tournament.
We're in.
Now we're just playing on where we go and what seed we're in. And so, at that dinner, Grant, you could see the energy come back. We were laughing, we were joking, we were making fun of each other. There was a lot of energy in the restaurant. I think I made the comment to you that night. You know that I didn't know what was going to happen Wednesday in Corpus, but I knew we were kind of getting back to ourselves. You could see the mojo turn a little bit, and to go out and beat a really good Corpus team, a place that we've never won before, and what was really, really big, I think, for our team, and turning the page and kind of moving on, to the next chapter with this group. And I just thought it relaxed us, and it was good. We've had a lot of good celebrations this year, man. We've had a lot of fun in the locker room after some wins, and wins are so hard to get in Division I basketball, but that one was special. That was special, and that was a unique bond and celebration there in Corpus Wednesday night, one that I might not forget for a long time. Yeah.
So Saturday is senior day for your team, and I know that Jalen, and Hayden mean a lot to you. How special and emotional will this celebration of these 3 be to you Saturday?
It's going to be tough. I think the whole thing is just, for us to be able to handle our emotions, because it's such an emotional day anyways for those seniors to play their last game. I kind of was tempted to do a celebration Friday night, like take them
get it out of the way.
Get it out of the way and done. That way Saturday we just played because obviously, every game's important, and we gotta protect our home floor, and it's a big game. But man, those guys are just, man, we could talk for hours, Max, man, on what those 3 guys mean to our program and what they've been through. And when they came here, we were one of the worst Division I teams in the country. That's a fact. There's no denying that or hiding that. To now one of the top 150 teams in the country. They're setting records every game. And I guess what I'm most proud of those 3 off the floor are just incredible guys, man, and ambassadors for our program, and they're going to be so successful in life and whatever they do. Yes. It's going to be tough. I'm trying to embrace everything. I embraced the road trip home. We got back at 2:50 or something on, but I just stayed up, and I'm embracing the road trips. Yes. I'm embracing the pregame meals. I'm embracing practice. I'm embracing every shoot around because I know they're very limited now. We're gonna, it's with those 3, but. Man, what incredible years they've had. Just for them to play this way going out their senior year, you always hope, and that's the hope, that seniors play their best basketball on the way out. But it doesn't always happen that way. And man, are they, man. All 3 of them are just playing at such a high level right now for us, and just their leadership and behind the scenes, and just incredible young men, man. And so I'm just so happy for those 3. But it will be emotional, I'm sure. I want it to be a celebration, though. I want to celebrate. These three dudes have done some things, man, that it's going to be hard for people in the next 25, 30, 40, 50 years to top what these three dudes have done in our program, man. And they're going to be remembered in our program for a long time, I think, here on campus.
It's going to be an emotional day at Moody Coliseum, but there's work yet to be done. We're going to preview both games this week a little bit later on, but next, a look back at a pair of road victories last week. This is the Joe Golding Show. The ASU men's basketball team hit the road last week to take on Texas A&M Corpus Christi and Central Arkansas, two teams vying for one of those final spots in the conference tournament. So they were playing desperate. Wednesday, in a gym where you'd never beaten Corpus, I was remembering you actually did win a game in that gym, and you played in the Thanksgiving tournament that week a few years ago when you beat Florida A&M.
That's right. And in Oakland, I think was it
Oakland.
right? Remember,
we didn't beat them. But Kay Felder.
He's pretty good.
He's still playing, by the way. You beat Florida A&M. But you weren't rattled, even though you had this tough loss to Southeastern Louisiana. And you get down by 6 at halftime, you come back and you win it 73-64. So I want to ask you, you just mentioned at the top of the show that Tuesday night, and you told me, you said it just then, you told me last week, I don't know how we're going to play, but I know what kind of emotional state we're in. So as you look back on it, how much do you think that Tuesday night led to the victory on Wednesday?
Well, I think it played a huge part, and you can tell, with this
because it wasn't perfect.
Yeah, we've been around this group. It's tough, man. I mean, these guys, is it okay to laugh and have fun and still play? I mean, they lost two of their best friends, their brothers, the guys that have been in. I think we're on practice 94, and from you think back from the summer, and then all of a sudden those guys are just gone, and they don't know how to react. I mean, you got to move forward. You got to continue to play, and we got to continue to compete. But it was hard for them, and I think they didn't know how to handle it necessarily. Heck, two of our guys live, with those other guys, and so it was just we were able to get away, and it was able to have fun and laugh and joke a little bit again and say it's okay, to do those type of things. And, you could just see them relax, I guess, a little bit. And I thought we played that way, on Wednesday night. I just thought we were very relaxed. We were back under control.
It's a pretty good team you played.
And let me say this. First of all, we didn't play bad against Southeastern, Saturday. They're really good.
They're very
they're a really good team, and Greenwood might be playing as good as anybody in the league right now.
I agree.
And so, they beat us 9. We were in the game. We didn't get off to a great start. There were some things that we would obviously do different now if we were to play them.
But the tendency is to overreact to that,
again,
right?
Yeah, absolutely. But it wasn't that we played bad.
Right.
So I don't think the panic button. It was just kind of turning the page and trying to get a win and move forward. And it was great. Like I told you, that's a celebration I won't forget for a long time. Wednesday nights for lots of different reasons. But it was fun, man. And the only thing that was bad is it rained the whole time. We finally get down to the beach. You guys know I love the beach. I was looking forward to Corpus the whole time, and then it rained. But the sun did come out on game day.
How about that?
It was meant to be, man. I remember, man, put my suit on, looking out that window, and there was a sailboat going out in the Gulf, and the sun was out, and I was like, all right, Grant, man.
And you remembered your suit.
And I remember my suit. I had my suit to put on, Max. There you go, man. So great day. Great day for Wednesday was a great day.
So the sun comes out, the second half of that game couldn't have gone much better for your team. At one point, you go on a 17-4 run, and then all of a sudden you're ahead by 9, and you were down by 6 at halftime.
Yep.
You get 12 points each from Jaron and Jalen in the second half. Jaron had 6 total steals in that game, which is a great stat. They just both played like experienced seniors in that second half. And so, how special was it to see those two and the rest of your team push back and get this first win since losing BJ and Jelani?
I think it was huge, Max. I think it was like we talked about, just a momentum-building win, But it's hard to win in March. It's really hard to win on the road in March, And to do that, we talked with our team Sunday night about this. It's about seniors this time of year, man. And it's about not just seniors and how they're playing, but their leadership behind the scenes and what they're doing with the rest of the team. And, those guys were just incredible. Since this group has been together from the Southeastern game, the one thing we've done a great job is not turning the basketball over. And then we're moving the ball extremely well. We're cutting hard. The ball's moving. Lots of different people are touching it. It might be the best ball movement we've had all year. In fact, our percentage against Corpus was the highest 2-game percentage. It was what we call our offense 2 game. That's the highest we've shot in 2 games since the HBU game. So, I just think this group's doing a lot of good things. Obviously, rebounding. We got out-rebounded at Corpus and Central Arkansas and Southeastern, so we're still trying to figure that out. We played Joe some more minutes against Corpus, which helps us defensively at that spot.
He had 10 and 7 against Corpus.
Yeah, played really well. And so, but yeah, big win. You know, seniors make plays. Those guys make plays down the stretch. And it's different, Max. You go back to last year at this spot, we were kind of where Corpus and Central were. They were kind of, actually, I think Central might have been fighting for a spot, but Corpus was in, you know, at the time. And so it was just, we were, you could tell in that second half, those guys are fighting for it, you know, and we're in, you know, and it's just tough. It's tough when you're fighting for Katy, and you have a tendency to tighten up a little bit and tense up, and every possession seems like it's the biggest possession, you know, of the year. And we didn't play that way down the stretch, you know. And so it was good, you know, to get both those road wins after what happened last year. You know, both those teams came in here and beat us that week, and that was it. It was over, you know. And so to go back and finish it this way with those seniors, and you know, the seniors, that's one gym they've never won at before. And I know they won in that deal, but against Corpus. So they've now finished their career winning in every gym except SFA. You know, SFA was the one that they didn't win. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool stat. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the Central game, because you stayed on the road. It's a mega road trip, obviously going from Corpus all the way up to Conway. A little bit of a sluggish start. You fell behind 17-6. Oh, by the way, they're a pretty good three-point shooting team. They hit 7 in the first half. But you go on a late first half spurt, and you lead by 2 at halftime, and then a suffocating second half defensively for your team. You win it 67-55. It was the final home game. You mentioned this to me last week. Final home game in his home state for Little Rock native Jalen Franklin. And you told me that in your experience, games in front of loved ones can go great, or sometimes they can go off the rails the other way. How about this line for Jay Frank? 12 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals, a dunk on a fast break, and only 1 turnover. That's pretty special.
Yeah, I don't even know if that was his turnover, honestly.
You
correct. After the game. I mean, Colton
credited to him.
Colton keeps that thing
it's a lob.
high, you know, But Jay Frank will take it, man. You know,
he doesn't care at this point.
Yeah, it was a special night for him. I mean, let's be honest, man. We took over that gym, man. As far as crowd, it was just there were so many people there supporting Jalen Franklin, and Trey Lennox is obviously from Hot Springs, so he had a bunch of people there. Rick's family was there. Jaren's family. It was just it was a great way to end it for him. And man, he's so well known in Arkansas. He won state championships at Parkview, played at one of the most prestigious high schools in the state of Arkansas. And then for him to be able to come back and finish it that way was really neat for him. You know, senior night will be for him Saturday against Incarnate Word, but in a way that finished one chapter of it. True. You know, there'll be the last time that a lot of those people in Arkansas will ever get a chance to see him play live. And so really cool deal for him. You know, the 2 things on the scouting report were keep them out of transition and no threes. You know, and we did an unbelievable job at home against them doing that. And boy, did we get off to a great start with that. Yeah, you know, so
or not. Good finish.
Yeah, but, you know, the one thing I did tell him is when we got in at halftime, we were up 2. And I thought that was about as good as Central Arkansas could play.
I agree.
And we had taken their punch. You know, we took their punch, and we're up 2 at halftime. So I told him I felt pretty good if we could just get off to a better start. And that's one thing too we didn't mention earlier on your question, Max. Is like with this group's been together. You know, the rebounding's been, but it's also been our starts of games. You go back to Southeastern, we didn't have a great start. Corpus, we didn't necessarily have a great start. Yeah. And then Central, we didn't have a great start. So we got to figure that out. I talked to him about that Sunday night. You know, we got to get off to a better start. Now, what we have done is finish the second half extremely well. So, you know, it's, again, it's kind of, you know, figuring it out. Maybe we need to change a starter here. And Farquhar obviously is playing starter minutes, and we love his energy off the bench. We love Trey's energy off the bench. You're getting leadership and seniors and juniors off the bench. Right. We don't really want to mess with that, but maybe we have to make some changes and do some things to give ourselves off to a better start in games.
Yeah. You know. So you do take their punch, and you do get another good second half in that game. You jump ahead by 14 points nearly halfway through that second half. When you get to 14, you keep a double-digit lead the rest of the game. I asked Julie this also, but in a competitive time of the year, how special and how nice is it to see your team keep a lead like this in the second half, especially on the road?
Not easy.
Yeah, and we're known to blow one every once in a while, you know. So that was great.
Never going to forget that, are you?
No. No. And so we will. We did a great job. In fact, I'll be honest, Max. There was 2 or 3 possessions there. One where we got 2 offensive rebounds and we had 3 shots at 3-pointers. We had a couple wide open looks. We were still taking probably the shots were probably too quick in possessions, but man, we were 1 or 2 shots away from that thing getting to 20.
Agreed.
And I just loved the how we were, the confidence and how we were playing in it. And so it was probably a little scary playing that fast still late in the game. But I felt if one of those would have gone down, then I think we'd have stretched it even further. But again, defensively, that's one thing this group is.
18 points you gave up in the second half.
Against a really, really good offensive team.
They scored 92 on Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean they're really good offensively. All the guys on the floor can shoot the basketball. So we just really locked down in the second half. They missed some easy ones, but when you make the rest of the possessions tough, when they get an easy one, the rim looks that big because they're not used to getting them. And
True.
so did a great job defensively. Coach Tanner had our guys really prepared on that side of the floor, and it was obviously a great day, great for those guys to get another road win and to beat a really good team. Again, Central's playing to get into Katy. They played really well Wednesday against SFA, and they're a scary team offensively. So good matchup for us, though. The way we guard, we knew if we could keep them off the three-point line in the second half, we'd have a chance to win.
They didn't hit a single three in the second half,
Yeah,
by the way.
yeah.
And one last thing. I love the big lines from Jaron, 16 and 9. Jay Frank, as we said, 12, 6, and 8, which was tremendous. But I loved in the second half, you had back-to-back buckets from Clay Gaiman. Back-to-back buckets from Colton Cole. Yeah. It's like when things get a little tight, you're not one-dimensional.
No, and I think that's what this team's been all year, but really right now down the stretch, we've always had guys that step up and just make plays. Trey took a charge. Damian Daniels did a great job. He made a three. He hit the backdoor pass.
Yes.
Clay Gaiman, on the two things you're talking about. Colton Cole on that little spurt right there. Joe Pleasant was obviously really good. Tobias came in, made a great pass over the top. I think it was to Colton right there for the and one. So, again, just getting production up and down the bench is really exciting for us down the stretch here.
Well, with those 2 wins, ACU is 23-6. That ties the 100-year program's all-time record for regular season wins. Most important, 12-4 in the league. Alone in second place with 2 games to go, a chance to secure that coveted double bye for the conference tournament. We will look ahead to this week's last 2 games in a moment on The Joe Golding Show.
Jalen Franklin has been a 4-year starter for the men's team, something you don't often see in college basketball today. Our very own Marlo Davis sat down to talk with Franklin.
You're actually from Little Rock, Arkansas. Can you tell me about your journey to ACU?
I didn't know anything about Abilene or ACU, but the Coach Solo, he was here my freshman year. He came and reached out to me my first game back in Arkansas, my senior year in high school. He came and reached out to me like, hey man, we want you to come play for us, man. You're pretty good and we're trying to change the program. And I was like, okay, where is this at? He said, Abilene. I was like, Abilene what? He was like, Abilene, Texas. I was like, I don't know where that is. He was like, just bring you on a visit and see how it comes and everything. And then I came on my visit and it went well. I love the atmosphere. I love how we're a Christian here, Christians here. And I just love the coaching staff here and the teammates that we brought in my freshman year.
So you're a family studies major. Yeah. What is your plan to do with that?
I want to be a marriage counselor.
And when did you decide you wanted to do that?
I decided to do that at the end of my sophomore year. I wanted to do kinesiology my freshman year, but I couldn't do any labs because of practice and stuff like that. And other classes I needed to take. So I was like, what is something else that interests me, and that fits me perfect. I like solving problems, so.
And it seems like you just fit in with the guys perfectly. There's been a couple of you from freshman year all the way until now. What has it been like having such a successful season with so many returners?
This feels great, like on our past seasons, we didn't think we did too good, and we just kept working on the off season and stuff, and having Farquhar and Jaron and Hayden Howe, even though he redshirted this year, we all sat down and said we really gonna change this culture, and we wanted to start it this year, and I'm just trying to take everything like as slow steps, just really focus on this season right now, and just once that ends, and then I really get focused on what I want to do and where I want to go.
The ASU men's basketball team closes out the regular season at home this week with a pair of games beginning Tuesday night against Stephen F. Austin. The Lumberjacks, the preseason pick to win the league. They have played all year, though, without 2 all-conference starters. Now they're fighting for one of the last spots in the Southland Conference tournament, which they've won 4 of the last 5 years. Regardless of their record, they boast the top 2 scorers in the league in Kevon Harris and Shannon Bogues. Coach, this is not your run-of-the-mill 7-9 basketball team, is it?
No. First of all, let me say this about Stephen F. Austin. I think this league owes them a lot. I mean, they have completely changed our league in my time here.
The national perception.
There's no question,
all of that.
and winning NCAA tournament games, just what they've done on their campus with their arena, the money that they spend in men's basketball, it's made other universities try to keep up, and it's made our league better because of that. And so we're a better league. We're able to recruit better players. We're able to fund staffs better. Everything is better in our league because of what Stephen F. Austin has done.
They've raised the bar.
The last 5. They've raised the bar, and if you want to compete with Stephen F. Austin, you better raise the bar too. Or the disparity is going to be too far. You're not going to be able to catch up. And so we owe a lot to Stephen F. Austin in this league. On the second thing, I think Kyle Keller has done a tremendous job. I mean, what a tough year for them. It started in the summer. They lose Holyfield, who's most people would consider the best big in the league coming
Tournament
back.
MVP last year.
Tournament MVP. They lose their 2 point guards to injuries. I know one's playing now, but they lose both point guards. They've had a ton of adversity throughout the year with injuries and guys out. They played a tough preseason schedule because they thought they were going to have everybody back. And so I think it's got to be difficult for Kyle. It's got to be difficult for everybody in that program to be able to even piece it together to get this far. So a ton of respect for them. Obviously, Harris and Bogues are two of the best players in this league. I know that they want another shot in KD. I know Bogues does. You can tell by the way.
They think they can win it still. I guarantee it.
I wouldn't argue with that. I mean, when you have two of the best guards in the league and March guards win games,
Yes.
if they get to KD, I don't think anybody wants to play them. I don't want to play them tomorrow night. I can promise you that. They're playing really well. I thought Lamar was as good as they've played in the last couple of weeks. I mean, they played really, really well. Bogues and Harris were special. Number 4, I think it's Fitzgerald scored the ball really well for him. I mean, those 3 guys are as talented as anybody in the league. So they guarded really well. Lamar's playing as good as anybody in the league.
9 out of 10 for Lamar.
And they had the game won. They played good enough to win at Lamar. And should have probably won the game. Had the game with a chance to win. So ton of respect for them. Ton of respect for Coach Keller. And obviously we know what happened at their place. They beat us, and so
You keep reminding us.
Yeah, and I reminded our guys last night. In fact, we do personnel clips, and Coach Bostic was doing personnel, and he had the game-winning shot on there. I was like, you had to put it on there, and he's like, you dang right I did. And I love that mentality.
Former Lumberjack, by the way.
Yeah. You got to question his loyalties this week.
No, you don't.
And Dez is his best friend on the
Desmond
staff,
Heyman,
and Dez
right.
is one of the all-time, maybe besides Thomas Walkup, he could run for mayor. The only person that could beat him for mayor of Nacogdoches would be Thomas Walkup,
Yeah.
But him and Tone are best friends. But it's going to be a great game. Really, there'll be a lot of talent on the floor tomorrow night, and again, they're playing backs against the wall. We're going to get their best shot. We're going to have to play really well.
So here I am, looking ahead again.
Saturday. What you do, Max.
It's a signature move.
Look ahead, Max, man.
Saturday, you get Incarnate Word. It is senior day. So, this game could have postseason importance and seeding, depending on how the midweek goes. But do these senior emotions get in the way of the game, or do they fuel your team to a win Saturday?
I think, again, it works both ways, Max. I mean, I think you don't know until the ball gets tipped and how they play. Every kid handles it differently,
You're going to do something before the game, though,
yeah,
right?
we'll do something before the game.
Yeah.
We've always done it that way, and we're not going to change it up. And then we'll honor those 3. I think they're actually going to do some special little tribute to them before the game, which I think will be really cool. That we haven't done in the past, and then we'll walk them and their families out, and we'll talk about everything that they've accomplished. Maybe not everything. We'll shorten it a little bit because we got a game to play, but and then we'll honor those 3. But and then we'll play Incarnate Word. So you don't know until the ball's tipped and how they play. I've seen it go both ways. I've seen them play really well in these games, and I've seen them also struggle. They have so much emotion. You have family in. You're just so busy the night before, and then you're so busy the day of the game, and then you have so many thoughts going in. This is the last time I'm going to play here in this arena,
And the Incarnate Word's playing for nothing except to upset you and knock you off,
yeah,
right?
absolutely. And so let me tell you this: Incarnate Word's good. I mean, you talk about SFA 7-9 team. I mean, what's Incarnate Word got 1 win? I think so. They're probably 1-15. But they're really good. I told you this. They're
a ton of close losses.
Yeah, I mean, they've been in almost every game that they've played. And go back to Saturday, they lost to Corpus in overtime. They've done a great job of keeping that team together, continue to play. I know we've had years like that. We know how that feels, and I know as a coach how hard it is to continue to motivate your team and continue to get your team to play hard. And Coach Cunningham's done a great job with that, and I think they'll play hard here on Saturday, and with Brown and PV at the 5 and the 4 spot, they're difficult to guard. So we've got a ton of respect for them, and we're going to have to play really well. That will be their last game. They're not going to be able to play anymore, so they're going to bring it, and it's their best. Throw their best punch, and they would love to. What a way, when you've had a season they've had, but you have a chance to ruin a senior night. I mean, that's a lot of fun, and I'm sure they'll rally behind that, and we got to make sure that doesn't happen for those three.
There's a way that by the time you get to Saturday, you could have already clinched the 2 seed, depending on how the midweek goes. If you beat Stephen F. Austin and New Orleans loses to Southeastern Louisiana, that's out of your control. What you can't control is getting ready for Tuesday night, so best wishes these last 2 games. It's going to be an enormous and, frankly, an emotional week. Frankly, an emotional week at Moody Coliseum with 2 games left for these seniors. Tuesday, Stephen F. Austin, that's the 7 o'clock tip. That's going to be on ESPN Plus as well as on 98.1 FM The Ticket. And then Saturday, Senior Day against Incarnate Word, and then on to the Southland Conference Tournament in Katy for the first time. For Max and for Coach, I'm Grant Boone. Thanks for watching The Joe Golding Show.